Lovely jubbly, just tricked you there. God, look at 7. That's got to be reviewed, especially on the Perfectdraft Pro. And it's just quite a lot heavier. Especially when Good afternoon, people. Right, requested by you. It's the sort of bloke I am. No, don't thank me. Anyway, I'm PJT. I'm from Rate My Beer. In case you don't know, I run the show. This is my staff. Good, eh? Right, it's Franziskaner time. As I said, it was requested a few times. It's one I've drank before, I must admit, a few times. For me, and I haven't had it for 2 years almost, it's like the weakest link of the 6 of the brand. So
basically in Germany it's their everyday beer. So they call it basically a pale beer.
Yeah.
So there we go.
We haven't had it for ages, I say. And what we're going to do at the end of the review, because I didn't think you could get it anymore, I kept my last bottle because I'm a bit of an idiot. And that is dated 23 months out of date because it's just been on the shelf in here. So I put it into the fridge when I managed to get that one through Redneck's Barn, by the way. And if you don't follow Redneck's Barn, or if you've got any interest whatsoever in German beers, there'll be a link in the video. And trust me on him,
top notch,
100% Marcus, real deal, no shit, you know. So what we'll do, we'll review this one as a proper review. I'll get the dodgy old paddles
that
out.
one's not out of date.
Yeah, that one's not out of date. That's just come from Marcus. That's 2024 on that one. We don't want to get them confused, do we? But we've got, and you won't find many of these, the actual Hell's glass. And how did we come about to acquire that glass, Michelle? Can you tell them the story? While everyone's listening.
Well, we were doing the brewery tour and someone's little magpie eye caught sight of a glass that he knew was very, very rare. And it was in reach of his hands. So he got sticky fingers and took it.
No, I took it and put it in your handbag.
Put it in my blimmin' bag, yeah. That's generally how things
I
work.
do apologise, anyone at AB InBev in Munich watches this, but my need for that was greater than yours. And I saw it there and I was like, oh my God, my hands are actually shaking because I've only ever seen one other person with it. And I've tried to get Marcus to get me some and he couldn't.
It's just really, really rare.
Yeah,
so he couldn't help himself.
I didn't want to, but I just knew that I could look after it and love it because it was just sat there on a shelf. Now here it's all in the casing and everything, isn't it? So it's got the love that it deserved. It's been the last one that they had.
And don't for God's sake drop it now.
So anyway, let's get her poured and see where we go, and then we'll bring that other one into
we'll
the
bring
mix.
it into it because there's a lot of people that often ask us, beers are dated, am I okay to drink it?
Most of the time.
Most of the time you are. So we'll see if this is
I've got to get a picture of this baby, ain't I? Oh, look at that! Look at that! And that look handsome, doesn't it? Huh? It's like looking in the mirror for me.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so let's start with the looks of this. This is what you'd expect. It's clear, a golden straw colour.
I'm supposed to say it looks like my husband.
You don't look like a beer.
It looks lovely, doesn't it? Come on.
It does look lovely.
If it's every time you see that monk, I personally, I see love.
Lots
Do you
of
know?
people think you look like a monk.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about the beer.
That's not a very nice compliment about looking like a monk. Look at him, bald-headed little twat. Huh? What do you mean I look like the monk? Right, hold on, I've got to get one of the side shot. Actually, we're going to have a side shot right one in the background. Yeah, don't be, seriously. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Did you know that?
Okay, so
right, so there you go.
As you can see, there's a nice amount of carbonation coming up through that glass.
Quite a thick one finger head. That's probably due to my bottle pouring, and it is. Yeah, it's very light, isn't it? It's kind of like your summer one. A fragmental and mild. I don't know what that means. Mild, I suppose, means mild. Yeah. By the way, in case I didn't say before, 0.5 bottle. And 4.8 ABV. Give it a go, see what we get.
Yeah, this is typical from what I would expect from this style of beer. You've got a nice malty smell there, a little bit grainy. Yeah, a little hint of maybe a floral or spicy aroma, but it's very subtle.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the smell there, is there? There's
aroma-wise, I wouldn't expect there to be.
Yeah, it's light.
Yeah,
there was a bit of sweet malt there, isn't there? But you're not getting no hops note. I'm not really getting citrus. Could say it's floral, I suppose.
It's very subtle.
Yeah, but there's not that much going on, is there? If we're honest here, for a brewery of such great calibre. In we go. This is the best bit for Michelle. Look at them eyes. Look at them eyes, people. Look. It's like she's found love.
Okay. So what you're getting there is a nice malt background. The backbone of this is not overly sweet malt, but it is malt based. There is a little bit of a grainy taste in there.
And I like the fruit. There's like a sweetness of fruit running through it. Like
I wouldn't call it fruity. I think the sweetness is coming off the malt. But this for me is exactly what it should be.
It's really light tasting.
Because it is supposed to be a very light, pale, sessionable beer, an everyday beer in Germany. So yeah, for me, this is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, right.
It's clean, refreshing, slightly dry on the finish.
Yeah, it's slightly dry on the finish. There is a fruit, I think, that's going through you along your sweet malts. It's lovely on the mouthfeel. I've got a bit. I panned this
low carbonation
2 years ago
as well, so you're not going to get too bloated.
Yeah. The only thing I can say, it is somewhat sweet, and it is sweet all the way through. It's like you're getting like apple, orange, something in the fruit, which is kind of saving it from being sweet.
Yeah, I'm not finding it overly sweet. There's a slight sweetness that I'm getting off the malts on there. But that is how I would expect this to be. It's quite smooth. There isn't a massive amount of carbonation. This is making for a really easy drinking beer.
Would it work on a keg?
Yeah, definitely.
It probably would, because every time the machine, well, 9 out of 10 times, actually probably 99 times out of 100, the machine beats the bottle. Like on the Keller beer, we thought it can't get any better. Then you taste it on keg, you're like, how did they bloody well do it?
Really is a very smooth, easygoing beer. Slightly dry on the finish, but there isn't any kind of pilsner bite or hoppiness there.
Yeah, no.
Which is as it should be for this style.
I think people will go with it.
They'd love
I
it.
think people will
They'd
be
love
impressed
it.
with it.
Very easy going.
It's a very easy. It's more of a somewhat summer drink.
This is darker.
And as I say, it's somewhat sweet for me, but that's just my personal taste. You know, I'll put it in a Snyder's glass because Snyder's is the king of.
Well,
Hellies.
it's a similar style glass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a similar style glass, and Snyder's is the king. That's more lively. Now, it's not that much in it, is there?
No, I'm looking at that. For me, the colour is slightly darker.
Not that much difference, is there? You can see on the camera.
The carbonation was coming out quite well as I was pouring it from the bottle, but it's really dropped off in the glass.
Yeah, so the other one's still going strong.
It has. It's got a
nice
reasonable head on it.
Yeah. For 23 months out of date, this is.
Yeah, so this is, as Paul says, this is.
It's not been refrigerated. It's been sat on the shelf.
Far out of date. It hasn't been stored particularly well.
It's not been left in a fridge or left in a cold drawer. It's been actually on the shelf in the bar, which the sun's come through. So
when people ask me this question, the first thing that I will say to them is...
Store it better than PJT does.
When you look at it, if you've got lumps of stuff that you're not supposed to have in there, sometimes beers that are unfiltered, you will get sediment in them, but not with this particular style of beer, so you don't want anything lumpy or anything like that in there. Has it got carbonation? Yes, it still has a bit of carbonation in there. So then the next thing is... go on the smell.
Yeah. If it smells like skunk.
Now, I find the beers that tend to have gone a little bit past their best will have a vinegary or even a slightly aniseedy kind of smell to
That
them.
doesn't smell off.
And it's something that's quite harsh on your nostrils. You do pick up on it quite quickly. This for me doesn't smell like it's gone bad. It is looking a little bit flat.
It's lost its carbonation.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit flat.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, so on the smell test, this is smelling okay.
It appears fine. Go on, give it a good go. Make sure. At least you can tell.
That's perfectly fine.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely
23
fine.
months, not even stored right.
Doesn't look like that it's held its carbonation very well, but there is still the right amount of carbonation in there. I can feel it on my palate as I'm sipping the beer.
Do you know the one only thing I'd say with that's got more of a bitter aftertaste than that. Maybe that's the 23 months out of date, but you go on that and then go on that like I just did. Because remember, I just had a bit of that one before I went to that one.
But it's a totally different batch, which is always possible. Because everyone knows you can go with the same recipe, but there are certain factors, certain variables.
Yeah, but a lot of it's in your head, isn't it? But you go on that and then go on that.
Yeah,
and
that's perfectly fine for drinking.
You notice that that's mad. Oh, we didn't score this one, did we? This is somewhat tricky, and you'll see as well. You're getting a little bitterness there. It's quite mad, isn't it?
Slightly sweeter.
Oh, you think that?
It's slightly sweeter on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not really picking up any kind of bitterness off that.
Oh, so I got a bit of bitterness at the end, but may well just be me. So.
But there you go. That proves your point. 9 times out of 10, your beer's gone out of date. Especially if it's just a little bit and it's been stored well, you're going to be perfectly fine with that beer. There's no need to throw it away.
Not stored correctly. For me,
I like this. It's an everyday, easygoing beer. Would I like to see this on the PD? Yes, I would. I'm going a lot higher than Paul. I'm giving it a rate my beer of 9. I like this beer.
Well, I believe you and not me. That's me snooping, isn't it?
I do like this beer.
My reason of scoring a 7, as I was saying earlier, I will finish one of these, probably that one, because that one's got more in it. I know what Michelle's like. And she's not going to complain it's 23 months out of date because there's more in it. There's nothing wrong with it, which we kind of thought in a way, didn't we? But my reason of going on a 7 and not an 8 is because I am finding it somewhat sweet. I do like it.
But that isn't the beer, actually. For this style of beer, this is how I would expect it to taste. It has a really good taste to it. It is a good example of this style.
Again, I'll go back to Snyder's there. I feel that if you had the Snyder's bottle now, which is a shame because we could have done them. I've got a Snyder's bottle.
Isn't Snyder's Pills?
It's a Helly's.
It is a Helly's.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, that particular one has got a bit more.
Glass. It's got a bit more depth. But take nothing away from the Franziskaner here, but I just feel that I find it somewhat sweet. But that's just me, like I say. But yeah, if you're into your Hellies, and most people are, and most people like them sweet, you're not going to have a problem with that. I can assure you.
I can see this being a real big favourite if it came on the PD. I think it's a good all-rounder. I think most people would be able to, their palates would adjust to that very quickly.
I think it'd be popular, yeah. And of course, it's owned by the brand, so they want to win.
I think it would make a great addition to the selection of Franziskaner that you've got already.
Oh yeah, I get it. You know, here at the Franziskaner Inn, you didn't even put the lights on. Look, no lights. Just
I did plug them in. But I plugged them in, but I don't think I pressed the button to switch them on.
And you didn't switch on the 2 power points
Never
behind.
mind, it's still light enough that you can see us and see what we're doing.
Yeah, and you didn't put my Christmas tree light on. I did want to tell you.
Damn,
I did want to tell you, but you know, what can I say? Right, I think that about ties this one up. We're not in agreement, but it's a little bit different on the scores, but at least you get 2 for the price of 1. So, bonjour.